waiting for this day for a week, about half a week now, saying, announce Tonali, announce Tonali, announce Tonali. Well, Tonali has finally been announced this morning. He's here. It's wonderful. He's beautiful. And our record signing is officially through the door at Tottenham Hotspur. Let's go and see how Tottenham announced it. And every transfer so far, they've brought in someone new, and everyone was debating, who is it going to be? Who is it going to be? And, you know, some were saying, apparently they tried to get Nicola Berti through. It didn't work. I was thinking, is it going to be Dabajinla, you know, another big signing from Newcastle? But no, they went in-house and they went for James Maddison. So let's go and see what Madders had to say.
Must be a big signing. Sandro, welcome to Tottenham, mate. When I joined, the first place I went was the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, just to feel it. The fans pulled me in straight away, and I know they'll do the same for you. They'll see it in the way you play, the bite, the courage, and the way you step up in the middle of the pitch. It's going to be a nice feeling being on the receiving end of your passes instead of your tackles. People say that the supporters are there through the good and the bad, but trust me, mate, I've seen it and I've felt it. You'll hear them, you will see them every single week without fail. Welcome to the Spurs family. It's a responsibility, it's a privilege, and more than that, it's an honour. This is yours now too.
Classy.
That is proper good words from James. James Maddison always knows the right words to say, doesn't he? He's so good with his words. And he really is like a... You can see why he's a captain or why he's a leader in this dressing room, so motivating.
He should be the ones doing the pre-match, the pre-match VVT on the stadium. We should get Maddison to do it. Brilliant. Do you reckon there's a little bit of... Because obviously Maddison was a player who rejected Newcastle to come to Tottenham back in the day when we signed him. So they've got him out to bring a player who's leaving Newcastle to come to Tottenham, showing him the light, saying you've made the right choice. But it's lovely. It's lovely to see Maddison, obviously a player who's been out for so long. I'm sure he's definitely grateful to not be up against Tonali anymore, because Tonali's always seems to have a great game against us, doesn't he, Tonali, whenever he plays against us. So, yeah, great announcement. I love it. Yeah, it's not like someone who's had like all the other announcements, they've got some sort of connection, but like, yeah, Maddison, I like it.
Yeah. And then Spurs did announce this is him holding the shirt. We are delighted to announce the signing of Sandro Tonali, subject to work permit. And if we just click in to the link into the thing, welcome Sandro Tonali makes the move to N17. The 26-year-old Italian international joins from Newcastle. Sandro said, I'm very happy to be here. When I arrived at the club today, it felt fantastic. People said about being here, being about 4 or 5 clubs, but there was only one.
Love that.
I spoke to the head coach for close to 2 hours about the club, the fans, the stadium, and our football. It was like magic because I knew immediately that I had to sign for Tottenham. I've played against Tottenham a few times and always found a great atmosphere made by great fans. I can't wait to start the season. Johan Lang says Sandro is one of the best midfielders in Europe and we are delighted to welcome him to the club. He has an outstanding technical quality to go with real football intelligence and has the character to thrive in a demanding, high-pressure environment. Sandro brings valuable experience at the highest level, both domestically and in Euro competition, and I know our supporters will love his energy and commitment on the pitch. We are all excited to see him pull on our famous lily white shirt for the first time, and Zerbi says, Sandro is a special player and a great signing for our club. I have followed him for a long time as he came through the youth system at my hometown club, Brescia, and I'm so happy to be working with him now. Given his qualities, there was a lot of interest in Sandro this summer. However, he was very clear in his desire to join Tottenham, and I know our fans will love what he brings to the team. So then it just goes on to talk about his previous clubs. But yeah, great words from both Johan and Roberto De Zerbi.
Incredible. And it's very telling, by the way, Tonali. If you notice, he's mentioned him a number of times now, Roberto De Zerbi. When you look at that interview he did at the airport, he was saying, why did you come to Tottenham? He was saying, Roberto De Zerbi did his job De Zerbi, was a massive factor. You look at this interview, he mentions Zerbi again. He does a little interview again, which we'll go through. He mentions Zerbi once more. He clearly was sold a project and was sold a dream by Roberto, and they clearly see football in the same way. And I'm so excited to see what De Zerbi has in store for Tonali, because I think he can take his game on leaps and bounds. And I think there are things that people think he doesn't do or he's not as good at, which I think De Zerbi can get out of him. And I can't wait for it.
100%, and I think that doesn't just go for Tonali, but it goes for all the players that we've signed. I think De Zerbi is the key factor here, and now we've got a De Zerbi who can nurture them, who can develop them. They're all going to go up leaps and bounds, and Sandro Tonali is definitely more prevalent to that as well. But let's see what else Spurs social media has been saying. They said Buenavento Sandro. There's him looking beautiful in that Spurs
suits him.
shirt.
It definitely suits him.
Definitely.
That white shirt.
And then he got given his number 16, Sandro Tonali. If you go up, yeah, there we go. 16 Tonali.
A lot of rumours of 6, yeah, but 16, former Timo Werner's number.
Yeah, look, not it hasn't been blessed with the best players recently, the 16, but that's changed now because this is Luka Vuckovic's number at Spurs from pre-season. Timo Werner, Arnaut Danjuma, Kyle Walker-Peters, Kieran Trippier. But a certain Gareth Bale was given 16 when he first joined the club, wasn't he?
He was, and once Gallagher leaves, he'll take the number 8, so it's all good.
Yeah, I imagine. I think 8 plus 8 is 16, isn't it? So maybe that's why he's gone for 16.
See, very clever.
But Connor knew this was happening, and he had to get in. He had to get in there
first.
As soon as the window opened. He was like, "Give me that 8 shirt now."
Yeah, I'm not sure about 16 for Tonali. I kind of don't like the way the aesthetics of it. I prefer my sentiments to be a different number than, I don't know, 16 is more like a winger or a fullback. Not a sentiment doesn't quite fit for me, but I'm sure he'll kill it. I'm sure he's going to smash it.
Yeah, doesn't matter what number he's wearing.
Obviously.
As long as he's wearing the Tottenham shirt, that is all that matters. And I'm still in just complete shock and awe that we've got someone like Tonali through the door after those 2 17th place finishes. It's just like, the maths ain't mathing. Well, they are on the balance sheet, that's for sure. But I'm talking about when you look at it objectively. Like, if I told you that last game of the season, at the final whistle, we're signing Sandro Tonali this summer, you'll be like, what are you chatting about?
No chance.
What are you chatting about? And he's here.
And they've made a big, by the way, they've made a big kind of case in the club statement of trying to make it very clear that there were other clubs interested, aren't they? They're not trying to hide that. In fact, they're trying to tell everyone, look, there were other clubs interested. Yeah. Other people were going for him, and he chose Tottenham over all those other clubs. And obviously, Tonali said it himself. So, he said that was one of the best quotes of the whole announcement. He said, people said there are 4 or 5 clubs, but there was only one. And that just goes to show what a job De Zerbi did selling this to him, because when you're Tonali and you've got all those suitors, why the hell would he prioritise Tottenham over the likes of City and Arsenal, whoever else was interested? And it must have been whatever De Zerbi said to him, because I can't see any other reason to. Yeah. Obviously the money, but there's reports of 250k a week, they're saying, rising.
De Zerbi's changed our lives, man. He's rocked our world. He's bringing in players where we just don't have the right, after what we've done over the last couple of years, to bring in. That is truth. So we're on the up, people. Sleeping Giant is awakening, and I'm all here for it. And I cannot wait to get going next season already. I cannot wait. And there's more signings to come. There is more signings to come. We still need to sort out that forward line. Midfield sorted now. Defence sorted now. Let's bring in those top forwards. Oh, Kang-in Lee, here we go.
Yeah, Lee Kang-in, here we go to Atletico.
Next, Sandro had a little message to the Spurs fans. Let's have a look at that.
Hi Spurs fan, can't wait to meet you, and I'm so happy to be here, and I can't wait to play for Roberto. Come on, you Spurs. Hi Spurs fan.
See, and he mentioned it again, I can't wait to play for Roberto.
Yeah, he doesn't say I can't wait to play for Spurs. I can't wait to play for Roberto.
I think that says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I can't wait to play for Roberto. I think that just goes to show where his mind's at when he's. I know it can seem trivial, but it just goes to show what he's thinking about when he's saying, when he's talking to us fans, and when he's talking about his excitement to play for Tottenham, his mind immediately goes to Roberto. So I think that just says it all about what a great job. What did he say to him? Apparently there was rumours he spoke to him for 2 hours and they were going for everything.
Not rumours, he said it.
Well, yeah, sorry, he said it. He said it in an interview. He spoke to him for 2 hours, and he was just like, he was like completely sold by De Zerbi about the way they see football, and clearly, whatever De Zerbi said has, I don't know, just really convinced him.
It's mad, isn't it, when you think about it? Like, what Roberto De Zerbi's done in football so far in terms of management. You got Sassuolo job, you got the Brighton job, and you got the Marseille job. No major honours, no nothing there to him to fall back on. But the way that players respect him and the way that players want to play for him, I mean, it's just unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, as I've said before with De Zerbi, he was a massive part of, in modern football, or especially over the last 5 years, he was like a pioneer in some of the aspects that a lot of coaches use now, like the press baiting and inviting that pressure to quickly pass in between the lines. De Zerbi was at the forefront of developing that and bringing that to the Premier League. And I think if you're smart, and I think if you're on top of where football's going, the direction football's going, you will have noticed that, and you'll have noticed what a genius De Zerbi is when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I think a lot of people would have taken notice of De Zerbi, despite the fact he's not managing any of the biggest clubs and not winning the biggest trophies. Pep Guardiola said it. He's one of the most influential coaches of the last 10 years, and I think a lot of people have taken notice of that. And clearly, when he talks to his players, he can probably go into so much unbelievable detail and tell them exactly how he sees them fitting into the team. And maybe when they're talking to these other coaches, it's not quite the same. So I'm really looking forward to what De Zerbi has in store for next season.
Yeah, and there was reports when Man City announced Maresca that there were only 3 candidates that they felt that could take over from Pep Guardiola after he left, and De Zerbi was one of those 3 candidates. That shows you just his standing in the game right now.
I think they said De Zerbi, Maresca and company, was it?
I think so, yeah.
I think it was those 3, yeah.
And then they tweeted out this: Tonali's journey to N17, Brescia 89 apps, AC Milan 130 apps, Newcastle 110 apps, and Italy 32 caps as well. And is he going to be welcoming one of his mates from Milan sometime soon?
Maybe.
Who knows?
Agent Tonali already. Why not? I guess Tonali's probably the best person for if we got doubts on Leao. Tonali's the best person we can talk to, isn't he? About whether this guy, we should bring him in. What is he actually like in training? All this kind of stuff. No one can get closer than Tonali being his teammate.
Yeah, absolutely. Here's him posting as well, or posing in the 2 Tottenham kits that have been released for next season. But it really does suit him, and I don't know. I like that away kit, man. I know,
it's great on me,
especially when you see Tonali in it. That's for sure.
That's for sure. That's for sure. If you can put those kind of players in that shirt, then I don't really care what it is.
Pictures of him doing his medical yesterday, or whenever he did it a couple of days ago. It was bloody long from the here we go to get the announcement as well, once we heard he'd done his medical and stuff.
Well, it was a few days, wasn't it?
To keep us waiting.
Yeah, I think keeping us on our toes. Look, I think when it comes to these social media announcements, I think Spurs, they have all this apparatus behind them, like optimizing when exactly to post to get the maximum attention, all this kind of stuff. So they've always got their reasons for when they're announcing at some point, I think.
Yeah, I mean, as said, what I was saying, it was held up by Newcastle. It wasn't held up by Spurs. So, I don't know. And then they posted as well a 35-second clip from a bigger interview, which is due to be released by Spurs at some point soon. I guess let's have a look at what he's saying.
I can't wait to play in this stadium because I play a few times against Tottenham, with AC Milan Champions League, in Newcastle. I found the great atmosphere. I found every time the full stadium. This is not easy because the stadium is so big. The fans can change the game in 2 minutes. The fans work with you. It's more easy for you. So I think the fans is one of the best thing in the city. I can wait to play
Come on,
in the
Sandro.
stadium because
Come on. I just can't. We've broken our transfer record, people, twice this window already. Are we going to do it for the third time this window?
Yeah, probably. I think we're going to try to. It's insane what Spurs have been doing, and with the massive statements of intent. They have been laying down a marker this window that what has happened is unacceptable, and we are serious about improving this team to get it back to a certain standard, because we have fallen well below those standards over the last few years. And I think these two transfers are them saying, we're not going to allow this to carry on any longer. We're going to put things right. Not to say that this means we're now title challengers or we're now going to push to win the league immediately, but we can't allow this club to fall below certain levels and certain standards, and we have allowed it to sit in for way too long. And I'm just delighted that we've put the money on the table, and what incredible business we have done. And I know it's expensive, but I don't care. It's great business, and you look at our team, it's really shaping up now. And to be fair, you talk about the amount of money we spend, it's a lot of money, but we're recouping a lot of it already, you know? 70 million for Vuskovic and Dragoshin. So that's already a big chunk of it we're getting back.
Yeah.
Plus all the other sales that we're set to, and Valise, that was 8 million.
How mad is it,
so
man?
pretty much 78 million.
We got the same money for Dragoshin as Arsenal got for Trossard.
Yeah, mental. Mental.
How does that even make sense? I think the Spurs team working on transfers this year are doing such a good job.
We got 8 million for Valise as well, so we're pretty much on 80 million already.
Yeah.
And that's for 3 players that we were never going to use.
Yeah.
So, people talk about, oh, wow, we've overpaid, but when you're looking at what money we're getting in for these players, right, and that equals one Fernandes or one Tonali, it's well worth it, isn't it?
100%. Couldn't agree more. There's also been he did a statement this morning to the Newcastle fans. I need to try and find it again because I had it. Let me just read it off Instagram because he posted it on Instagram. Here we go. Proper heartfelt message for Sandro. You can take off the X out if you want. He said, 3 years ago, I came to Newcastle not really knowing what to expect. Today, it's time to say goodbye, and it's hard to find the right words. I want to start thanking the club, to the people who work every day and nobody sees at the training ground. Everyone who welcomed me and made me feel at home from the very first day. Thank you to the staff and my teammates for believing in me and helping me grow. A special mention to the gaffer, Eddie, who's been a real guiding figure, who always had my back throughout this journey. But above all, I want to speak directly to the fans. When things were hard for me, you were there. Not one day did I feel alone. I felt every time out at St James's Park. That's something I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. Together we achieved something that the city had been waiting for decades at Wembley that day. It was a special and historic moment we got to share together. To the fans who never stopped believing, who never stopped cheering for this club, who were the hardest times, that trophy was for you. The game brought me to Newcastle. Today I leave with my wife and our son, born during my time here. This city gave me more than football. It gave me a home, moments I'll hold on to forever, and people I'll always be grateful. Thank you for everything, Sandro. Another classy message there from Sandro Tonali to the Newcastle fans. It'll be interesting to see what the reaction when we go play at St James's Park. You know, his first home game is against Newcastle.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what the reaction from the Newcastle fans will be to Sandro.
I don't think it's going to be great.
No, neither do
I don't think it's going to be great. I think they're going to go after him. But yeah, tonight, I mean, he says all these great words, but then he also said in an interview that he had a childlike giddiness. He felt like a child this morning, the morning he signed for Tottenham. The excitement there was for him. So as much as it must have, he's saying how hard it was and all the stuff, he clearly really wanted it. He really wanted that move, and he wanted to upgrade to Tottenham. So if I'm a Newcastle fan, that's fine words, but there has to be a massive frustration that they had that whole thing with the betting scandal. Like all the fans and players and the club didn't hold it against him. He came back to like a hero's welcome when the ban ended, even though apparently there are rumours that they knew the ban was coming before he signed. And so in a way, you could definitely change that narrative to say that Tonali in a way screwed Newcastle over by signing for them at that point. If he knew the ban was coming and Newcastle didn't, they got a bit screwed. But they didn't hold that against him. Comes back, he had a brilliant season, and then had one average season where he dropped off, and all of a sudden he's running out the club. So I would be a bit frustrated if I was a Newcastle fan, but hopefully it doesn't end that way at Tottenham.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't really care. I'm delighted. He's here. I cannot wait to see him line up in our midfield. And it's not just him alongside Mateus Fernandes as well is just going to be, it's going to be magic. It's going to be magic. It's going to be more magic than his 2-hour phone call with Roberto Zerbi as well. I just cannot wait, man. And I tell you what, everywhere I'm walking in the streets these days, bumping into Spurs fans, everyone is buzzing, aren't they?
No one's hiding anymore.
It's like we won the league last season. Everyone's walking around with a smile on their face. Everyone's like, what is going on at Tottenham?
Everyone. No one's hiding anymore. All the Spurs fans are out. All Spurs fans are out and proud at the moment because they feel something. There's a bit of electricity in the air. They feel something big happening at the moment, and everyone is so excited, which is crazy to think about where we were a few weeks ago, one game away from relegation, and we were sick of Tottenham I guess when De Zerbi came in it was a bit different, but for most of last season we were just sick of the sight of Tottenham. No one was looking forward to games, no one was looking forward to watching them on the weekend. It was kind of like a chore, but now everyone couldn't be more excited, and we haven't even played a game yet with all these players, and I guess the excitement will really set in once we see pre-season how they're shaping up, and that excitement about what this team could actually achieve, we'll get to see it. But right now, with all these players coming through the door, all the business we're doing, it just couldn't be more exciting. It couldn't have gone much better, and I can't wait to see what else the summer brings, because there is rumours of big players, big names which we'll go through, and we're not finished yet. We are not finished yet, but already we've broken our transfer record twice for two top players who anyone wouldn't have dreamed of getting before the window opened. So it's a phenomenal start, and I think all Spurs fans right now are dreaming. They're dreaming of big things. They're dreaming of all possibilities. I've heard all sorts of things about what we can do next season, and I'm all here for it.
A few people in the comments have mentioned that you look like Tonali.
I don't see it personally. He's got nicer hair than me, but
Simeon Tonali. Maybe get a side-by-side. People can make their judgments. Simeon Tonali, what do people think in the comments? It's uncanny.
I don't know. I don't really see it. I don't mind the comparison. Not a bad-looking bloke, Tonali.
Yeah, well, look, there you have it. Welcome, Sandro Tonali to Tottenham Hotspur. Our record signing, £92 million. That could be rising
Simeone
to £100 million. So, I'm gassed, man. I am absolutely gassed. I'm buzzing to see how this all unfolds. It's just like
Timu Tonali.
Tonali, yeah. But let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Was that the best one yet in terms of the announcement? Maddison really did a good job, didn't he? Announcing Sandro Tonali to the club. First and foremost, it's like, you're getting me in. It must be a bloody big signing, then, shouldn't it? Well, there you go. £92 million for Sandro Tonali. We're going to move on from Sandro Tonali